This is contributor to the channel and assistant to the humour.
Resident humorist.
I'm not going to call you that. Anyway, is this your most weather appropriate gear?
My only other jumper is, my only other jumper is a Nemo and Crew thing, and it's in my bag, but it's wet. You know.
What are we doing today?
I'm going to try and find a waterproof jacket.
It's a MAGA hat.
Like your one.
What have you got there, mate?
I've got a waterproof jacket now.
Yeah?
This is only moments after the last video, to be honest.
How's that fit?
Feels good, mate.
Yeah?
Feels even better. It was free because we stole it from a dead homeless person.
My name's John Cordy, and today I wanted to talk about a little trick that I like to use when I'm writing or potentially when I'm arranging for something, and it's really simple. Basically, anytime you see a major chord, or generally this is a rule that will work, you can use the relative minor of it or vice versa. Let me just explain. So in that progression, I'm in the key of G major. I'm starting on chord 4, going to chord 5, so that's progression, and then 4, 6, 5. So I could also do 4, 2, 5, 3, 4. Do you see what I mean? So you could just do 4. So that's the basic approach. So take your major chord if you're playing a major. So if I'm playing chord 4, it's a C major in the key of G. I can go a minor third below it to an A minor, and because it's essentially sharing enough of the same notes that it's very similar. So in an A minor triad you have an A, a C and an E. In a C major triad you have a C, an E and a G. You can kind of make those substitutions if you like, or however you want to think about them. And then so D, same kind of approach. You've got a B minor triad. So anyway, so you can basically do this with any chord essentially in a major progression. So if you've got chord 1, you can replace that with chord 6, or if you've got chord 4, you can replace that with chord 2, or if you've got chord 5, you could replace that with chord 3. And so in that way you could spice up a progression which is kind of repetitive potentially. So things that I might do is I might use something like an A-A-B-A form. So you might go chord 4, 5, 4 again, so this will repeat, 5, then on the chord 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's kind of like an A-A-B-A form, whatever, which is useful in loads of different ways. But so you take a thing that repeats 4 times, and on the 3rd time you change it to do this kind of substitution idea. Or you could flip that around to be the other way. So if you had a progression that went from chord 2 to 3, 3rd repeat, chord 4, chord 5, chord 2. It's a way to kind of create that sonic lift within a progression, and something that is like a vamp which is repetitive suddenly has this part of it which is more interesting potentially. So you could even do this over kind of tunes like So What. So What, we're kind of in D Dorian. So that's kind of chord 2, right? So it's like a Dorian flavour. Do it there, and you know that might sound a certain way right there and a little bit weird, but here if you can kind of do it, and it can add something to that progression, I think. And it could also be something that someone hadn't really heard before, so it could create like something fresh to a progression which was already existing or whatever. But that's kind of a little reharm trick that I use all the time. So just quickly again, so if you've got chord 1, chord 4 or chord 5, you could replace them with chord 6, chord 2 or chord 3. Chords that is probably going to work generally, especially if you pay attention to what should be happening in the extensions. What am I talking about? Anyway, hopefully that's useful to 1 or 2 people, and I'll put up some progressions. I'll put up some progressions just showing this idea on Patreon if that's useful to anyone, and some backing tracks. But give it a try with like progressions you already know, and I think you'll find you can sort of substitute these things in fairly easily and without it creating like a massive impact negatively on the tune. So I thought I'd share it. Anyway, hopefully that's useful to 1 or 2 people. If you want to like and subscribe, you could, and that would help out letting me know that this was useful to one. Yeah, see you in a bit. Thank you.